Now, if you've bought a modern Mercedes-Benz, you may have heard of a thing called the entertainment package. Now, this is quite a brand new thing that's come out on the Mercedes-Me store, and this car has it. So, we're going to cover a guide on how to set it up and cover all the points of is it worth it and should you be using it. So, let's take a look. So first up, what is it? Well, basically, as multimedia systems these days become increasingly more intelligent, you'll find that they can do so much more than they could years ago. And one of these things is music streaming. This basically is what the entertainment package is. It allows you to connect your favorite music streaming services to the multimedia system without directly using your phone or its data. The entertainment package also allows you to play internet radio as well, which basically is exactly what it says on the tin. It allows you to play radio over the internet instead of traditional methods like FM, DAB, or even AM. So very quickly, why would you want to stream or play music this way instead of doing it over Apple CarPlay or Android Auto or even Bluetooth? Well, if you've been a channel follower for a while, you'll know that I absolutely love Apple products, so I personally naturally gravitate towards Apple CarPlay myself. However, some of you out there may not like Apple CarPlay or Android Auto because you're connecting your phone wirelessly through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto and don't want your phone battery to drain, or you can't connect it wirelessly and don't want to plug your phone in every time. Another reason could be that you might like the inbuilt navigation system of MBUX more than using your phone, or if you own an EV and want to utilise the car's sat-nav capabilities as it integrates with the charging network through Mercedes-Me Charge. Another one could be if you have a limited data plan on your phone, or finally, you might just like to utilise internet radio again without using data on your phone. So those are just a kind of number of reasons as to why you might want to use this instead, as it does have its kind of pros and cons, which I'll touch on a bit later. But first, how do you set it up? So first things first, you will need your car linked to your Mercedes-Me account. Now, if you don't have that linked already, I have a separate video about Mercedes-Me, so click on the pop-up banner up above. Basically, if you've bought from a Mercedes dealership, they should have done this for you, but if you've bought from like another garage, just pop into your local kind of Mercedes showroom and they'll help you get it linked. Now, you will need a subscription to the entertainment package, so yes, this is a paid-for service. You're using data here, so just like your phone, where you pay monthly for your phone, or data, that sort of thing, you will have to do the same thing for this. But handily, it's all done on here. Now, I have read somewhere that some Mercedes-Benz models do get the entertainment package free. I think for this car, it was like a year or something. Just in case you don't have a subscription, you can go onto the Mercedes-Me store and you can buy it. So I'm presuming that you've done all of that. So to activate it, you'll have your car on the screen a bit like this right here. And all you need to do, first things first, you need to set up the kind of internet contract, so to speak. So what you need to do is go onto menu, and then tap on your car, and then go to manage services, and then it's in the infotainment section just in here. What you need to do is look for the thing that says comfort data volume from a third party. Now this is basically run through Vodafone from the sounds of it, because Mercedes-Benz use Vodafone for all the network communications and that sort of thing. So you need to go in here and just follow these following steps. So once you've clicked on comfort data volume from third party, tap activate now. Then if required to read the information, this just lets you know data is being transferred across to Vodafone. Scroll down and tap next. On the next page, tap register. On this bit, just fill out all the information, ideally the same as your Mercedes-Me account to keep it nice and simple. Once you've done that, to keep your account secure, it'll send you a code via SMS. Finally, there's terms and conditions to accept, and then you're all set. If you've done it successfully, then you'll find the toggle will then switch to on. Now, once you've done that step, this is where you can actually link your kind of favorite music streaming service. So in this, if we go back to the start here, what you'll do is tap on the menu button, then tap on your car, tap on manage services, infotainment again, same steps as before. The only thing that's different this time around, you'll be looking for music streaming. So if you go in here, this is where you can link your accounts. Now you can do it on the screen as well, but if you've not set this up before, you'll need to set up that kind of data contract thing anyway first, so probably better to do it on the phone. But yeah, go into linked accounts, and then in here you can link your favorite music streaming service. Now, I've already got Apple Music linked just because that's personally what I use, but I'll show you how to link the Spotify account. So if you have Spotify, let's go on there, and then it will say obviously about Spotify and its 60 million tracks. Tap on pair. This will take you to a portal where you can log in with your Spotify details. So for me, just gonna auto fill this in, and then this bit here, it will say about all the data that goes across. For this to work, you'll have to press allow and or agree, and then paired, and then literally seconds later it's appeared on the on the car. Let me just turn that down. So once you've done all of that, what does it look like and what's the experience like? Well, basically, for those of you who have Mercedes, you're probably familiar with the kind of home screen, which looks a bit like this here. Now, this is all located in the media section. So this is typically where you would have USB and Bluetooth as well. But if you go into media, there's an additional thing in here called online music, just like this. Now, for this purpose, I've just got the music turned down just because I can't have that playing over a YouTube video. But yeah, notice here you've got Bluetooth, online music and USB at the top. So on online music, this is where all of your accounts would be. Now for this demo, I've just taken off Spotify just because I naturally use Apple Music more. So all of my music library's on there, and just to make it easier to show you what it's like if you just have one on there. So notice on the bottom here, you have the search bar and of course then the menu selector. So going on this one will bring up kind of what's currently playing, and then you can actually browse all of your music in your library as well, which is of course one of the best things about it. So if you go into library, you can look at all the ones you've recently added, playlists, artists and albums, very similar to how it would be displayed on your phone. The three dots basically are very similar again to what it looks like on your phone. So going on here is how you can heart or love a station, you can show the album, or you can create a station, a bit like exactly how you can do on Apple Music directly on your phone. So a lot of the functions have been kind of mirrored across to the Mercedes-Benz interface, which is pretty good. The final one on the bottom right is settings. This is where you can of course change your equalizer and things like that. So you can go in here, tweak the bass, mid, treble for pretty much any kind of audio music coming in. And of course the most important one down here is music services. This is where you can do it in the car as well, where you can scan a QR code. But I said if you're going to be setting up the comfort data volume thing on the app, you may as well do it on there as well. But yes, you can do it here as well. Say you're on a road trip and a friend has like Spotify, they can literally link it in the car by scanning the QR code. Now one pretty cool thing I did notice as well, you can actually use the, I won't say it, the MB voice assistant as well. So yes, you can literally give it direct commands to play an artist of some description. So you would say, hey, the magic word. I'll put it on the screen so you can see without actually triggering it. Then you say, play the artist such and such, and it will literally pull that from your library on the currently selected music stream platform you've got linked. So pretty cool. Now, when it comes to compatibility, this is where it can get, as I said, a little bit complicated. Just because, picture this, Mercedes-Benz make over 30 models, and they have released, of course, different variations of facelifts and new models over the years. So there are a lot of multimedia systems out there in Mercedes. So literally, you know, I bought this last year and there's a new multimedia system out already on like the E-Class and CLE. So it will vary massively. I can't stress that enough. Specs vary, as I always say, but this varies a lot. Kind of requirements are, of course, as I mentioned, you need it linked to your Mercedes-Me account for a start. Now, the music streaming providers does vary again depending on the multimedia system you have in the car. So as far as I know, MBUX NTG6, the ones primarily with the touchpad in the middle, will have access to Amazon Music and potentially Spotify. It again does depend, and Tidal. And then Apple Music is specifically for MBUX NTG7 or newer, so this one or newer. The ones with the kind of starry kind of sparkles for the voice assistant. I know it does vary quite a lot, so if you're not sure, just speak to Mercedes, either local Mercedes dealership or showroom, or speak to Mercedes-Me support. For that, you can, on the app, tap the menu button, tap help, and then contact support, and they might be able to give you some guidance as to what ones are compatible. Handily though, on the Mercedes-Me store, if you go onto the bottom left, there is actually a document that shows you which ones are compatible. It will give you a rough indication on the month and year of production as well. But of course, once it is linked, then you can see which ones are compatible because it will only show you on the screen. Now, as far as I'm aware as well, if you have accidentally bought the entertainment package or something like that and you realise that your music streaming provider isn't compatible, I think they do offer a refund policy. Just check with them and they can actually refund you anything that you've paid just in case. I think it's like within 2 weeks or something like that. But again, check with them. So guys, at the start of the video I said, is it worth it? Well, I wanted to kind of highlight the pros and cons. So as I said, for me personally, I use Apple CarPlay just because it kind of fits with all the tech that I use. But I can see the other side of why people might want to use the entertainment package instead. There's quite a few reasons actually. So first point, of course, it's a very neat inbuilt installation. So literally running in the background, I don't think there's a data cap. I haven't read that anywhere, so I'm presuming you can just stream as much music as you like. So if you do more than 10,000 miles a year, 20,000, 30,000 miles a year, then yeah, you probably could get through a bit of data if you're streaming music all the time, but I haven't read anywhere that there's a data cap or anything. Now I know this will be very handy for EV owners as well. I know there aren't many electric car owners out there, but certainly if you want to use the inbuilt sat-nav for the charging infrastructure integration through Mercedes Me Charge, I can see why you might want to use this one a little bit more, because if you use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, then it's not going to actually sync with all the charge points and you're not going to be able to see if they're available, and it could just get in the way slightly. The other one as well, if you are fans of using the Hey Mercedes voice assistant, then yeah, I can see that you might want to use this as well, because yeah, if you like using the Hey Mercedes voice assistant, then you can give it commands directly and ask it to play your favourite albums, artists, tracks, latest hits, that sort of thing. So yeah, all built in. Yes, I know that if you use Apple CarPlay, you'll have Siri or Android Auto, there are voice assistants on there as well, but this is again if you want to use the inbuilt multimedia system. So I can see a few kind of pros and cons to it all. So there are a couple of downsides to the entertainment package as well, and this just is because it's just streaming data. There is no offline mode. So for example, because of where I travel sometimes, there is no signal. Like, don't get me started on mobile phone signal. It always cuts out during an important call, but more so when you're playing music, if you're streaming data and streaming music of course to your car, sometimes the mobile phone signal cuts out and then it stops. So I personally use Apple Music, one of the main reasons, because I have my entire library downloaded onto my phone, which might sound quite excessive, but it basically just means that when I'm in the car, it doesn't matter where I am, because then I can play music. Now obviously if you use the entertainment package, that won't work that way. You can't download music, so that's one negative that I would say. Some of you might be thinking, well, that's quite excessive, so it's not really a downside, but it's something that I thought I'd just mention anyway. The other one as well is that I kind of find the interface isn't as easy to browse. And yes, it's all laid out perfectly just as it is on the screen, but one kind of thing that I notice is that there isn't an A to Z. Now, if you have quite an extensive music catalogue like I do, you can't easily browse. So if you go onto the library and then scroll down, it does take a while to scroll down that list. There is no A to Z. So I guess the workaround for that then is to use the Hey Mercedes voice assistant and ask her to play the specific artist. But then you might not get exactly the thing you're after. So there's pros and cons to it all anyway. But yeah, I can totally see why people might want to use this and not faff about with their phone. But guys, if you liked today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and of course, thank you so much for watching. Now guys, if you didn't know, this video was actually a suggestion from you guys. So if you wanted to see more content like this, or any specific feature on the Mercedes-Benz, let me know, because this is my car, so I'll happily make any video about it. So let me know guys. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, see you then.